Hey Criers, I'm Hayley.
And I'm Rachael, and we're here breaking the age-old myth and proving to you that there is crying in baseball. Welcome back to another episode of There Is Crying in Baseball. If you guys haven't noticed yet, things do look a little bit different around here. Sarah has actually decided to step away from the podcast, but Hayley and I are going to be taking over from here. We always will love and support Sarah and everything that she does. She is always welcome to come back and cry with us at any point in time if she has anything to cry about. But in the meantime, we are so excited. Baseball is back, baby.
Yes,
we are
is.
back. Hayley, I've missed you. It's been so long. Oh my God, it's been so long. Guys, we have so much to catch up on. We have not, obviously it's been like a month and a half. So Hayley, how has your time been? What have you been doing?
Going to baseball games. It has been wild. We have already been to 13 games this season. So
oh my God. It is not even May yet.
So that is what my last month has been like. So we started opening weekend in California. We got to go see the Cardinals play in all the Southern California parks. So we went to one game against the Dodgers. It was the last game of the opening weekend series. So that's Sunday.
Okay.
I have never felt so out of place in my life. Normally you go to a Cardinal game and like no matter where you go, there are Cardinal fans.
Yeah.
Just packed. Like it's at least
they travel. Yeah, they travel so well.
They travel so well. Uh-huh. That was not the case at this game in LA. I felt like I saw like 10 other people in Cardinals gear. And so that was really weird because I just was not used to that feeling. And I heard some things about how like you shouldn't wear your team's stuff into Dodger Stadium because there can be a little mean there.
I have heard that also.
I didn't experience that personally. I felt the judgment. No one talked to me about it, but I just like felt these eyes on me the whole time. Like I'm not supposed to be there right now.
I'll be honest though, that it probably helps that you're a woman. I feel like if
maybe
you're a man, because guys like to chirp at other guys. Like I've heard fans say things to Tyler that they would never say to me. Okay. So maybe
we did go watch some of the games. There's a bar like the Home Plate Club or something. No, Gold Glove bar, whatever. It's in the outfield. We went and sat out there for a little bit of the game, and I would cheer every time the Cardinals did anything, and people would be looking around like, who is this person in here that is cheering for them?
What
like she does not
here?
belong. But again, no one like said anything to my face, so I was like, it's fine. And then that was the game where we were winning up until the 8th inning, and then we gave up 2 home runs in the 8th. And then I thought I felt out of place before that, and then when that happened, I was like, it's time for me to go. Like, I got to get out of here. So we went to that game, and that was fun. But then we went to San Diego.
Hold on. How was the stadium in LA, though? Oh. Did you like it?
It was fine. It wasn't like... I'm, like, happy I experienced it, but there really wasn't a whole lot going on there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was cool to see some of, like... There's, like, a big... not mural, but like photo, like huge photo of like the team out in the outfield that looked really neat. And it was just cool to be in like an iconic park like that.
Of course.
But it wasn't like anything too exciting in my opinion.
I get
like
that for sure.
The bar we watched part of the game in, like you couldn't even see the game. You had to watch it on TVs in there. And so I was like, I don't feel like I'm at a baseball game anymore because I'm watching it on TV. Like, So that was kind of lame.
Well, your pictures looked really nice. So I wonder if like the scenery has something to do with it too, and like all the palm trees and things like that, and like the vibes.
The palm trees help. Yeah, love a good palm tree.
Gorgeous.
And so then we went to San Diego, and that was a wild experience. So I don't know if I've talked about it on the pod, but I have a friend who she works for the Padres. She's the assistant to their GM, AJ Preller.
Cool. So cool.
So cool. She knows almost nothing about baseball. Like I taught her what the batter's eye was while we were there. Like, so it's
incredible.
I want to get her on the pod to tell the story about like how she got the job and everything because it's really funny. But I'll let her tell that story. But we were in San Diego for 3 games. They played the Cardinals all 3 games, which was made even better. And she gave us wristbands to be able to get like all inclusive like food and drinks, and our tickets were in the scout section behind home plate. So it was like, it was wild.
Amazing.
There was one day we got to go on the field before the game, and so that's where I saw our best friend Oliver Marmol.
Bestie Ollie, did you tell him we said hello?
Oh my gosh, I was like kind of awkwardly staring at him because I wanted to make eye contact. But I didn't want to be like, hey, because he was talking to some other people. And so he finally was like, give me a head. And I was like, hello.
You guys need to realize the last time that we saw Ollie, we were pretty intoxicated at a Lady Antebellum concert after the game. So like, he's seen us in a interesting state.
We need to find those videos. Because he was dancing with Stubby. Well, not dancing. Stubby was like
they were vibing. They were vibing.
And we were vibing, and then we did get a photo with Ollie after the game, or after the show that night. But then I saw him in San Diego, and I told him, I'm like, my friend and I saw you, like, during the Lady A show after a game one time. He's like, I remember you. I was like, no, you don't.
He's like, girls.
He was like, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. I was like, okay, well, thank you. Can I get a picture with you? Because the other one was terrible because we were sweating, we were drunk, like it was awful.
It's good times though. Good times.
Oh, so great.
That's mortifying. I don't even want to know what he thinks of me.
He was so nice. He even like looked at my Instagram stories that night.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm like, hilarious. Best friend status. I think I tagged him in one, like in the picture of us or something, and then he creeped on my Instagram. It was pretty funny. And then the last game in San Diego, so we were in the scout section, and there was a row that was completely empty that our tickets were in. There's a man probably in his late 40s ish, early 50s. I'm making this up because I can't remember exactly what he looked like, but he was older than me. That's not old.
God.
Don't worry.
Oh Lord. Here we go.
And so he comes in from the right side, and he is like, that's my seat. And I was on it. Michael was sitting there. I was in the next seat. And then he was saying, the one next to her is my seat. So he crossed over us. He could have gone around because no one was in the row, but he crossed right over and sat directly next to me. And I was like, this doesn't feel right. And then he was like, so where'd you get your tickets from? And I was like, a friend. And he's like gave me like a little, it was like a nod. It was really weird. And I was like, okay. And then Mike went to the bathroom, and I was like, can you please come back faster? Like, this is, I don't.
Oh my gosh, he wasn't there at the time?
He was there at the time, but then he got up to go to the bathroom, and I was like,
you're here with this man.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
And so my friend came down, got us, and she's the one that works for the Padres. So she was giving us a tour of like the GM suite of the home plate club where we were getting all of our all-inclusive stuff. And I told her, I was like, yeah, we were sitting there, and there was a guy that came and sat like right next to me. I'm sure he's supposed to be there. It was just kind of funny, like the way he crossed over us when there was a whole row, and could have gone the other way, and could have sat in any other seat except for the one directly next to me. And she was like, oh my God, what's the seat number? And I like told her, and she's like, I'm texting them right now and making him move. And I was like, oh my gosh, he might have to be there. She's like, no, you are the only two that are supposed to be in that row. We're making him move. So then the usher makes them move. But then the whole entire game proceeds to check everybody's tickets after they sit down. Because so many people try to go down and sit in those seats. And
my God. You started a movement, I think. Man.
The best part is that we sat in seats that weren't ours to avoid climbing over a scout. We were like, we'll just sit here, at least for the time being, just so we're not like crawling over this man who's like working and stuff. And so then the usher came down and told us to move. And we're like, we're literally, there's no one else in the section. We're supposed to be here, but whatever. And then he came and apologized for making us move and was like, we have some of like AJ Preller's guests here right now, and we need to make sure you're not in their seats. That's why I made you move. And I was like, That was actually us. That like
we are the guests.
We are the guests. We caused this whole debacle that we didn't even want to start, but it happened.
You're famous, Hayley.
I know. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, you can sit wherever you want then. I'm so sorry." And I was like,
yeah, then they roll out the red carpet for you. And they're like, "Oh, what else can I get you, ma'am?" Oh,
everyone was so nice to us because they like knew who like that we were supposed to. We had like the wristbands and stuff, and they're like,
course.
"Where are you trying to go? We'll help you get there. You want to go down this way? Like, come on." And we're like, I've never been treated like that in a park before. I want to go everywhere as AJ Preller's guest now.
Yes, please.
So,
we'll try to find a job. AJ Preller's guest. We'll see if your friend can get you a job there.
Yeah, I mean, I would move to San Diego.
Would you?
I told my boss that. I was like, I kind of want to move there now. And she had heart palpitations, she's like, please don't.
She said, absolutely not. Is that something that Michael would do? Like, would you ever seriously consider it or no?
He would never.
Would he?
I mean, it makes sense. It's very expensive to live out there.
Sure. For sure.
It's a lot. Practically, it doesn't make sense. But, like, dream, I would move to San Diego in a heartbeat.
It'd be amazing. I can't wait to go. I still haven't been anywhere.
Come with me.
There, but I know I want to so badly. It'd be so fun. Oh, yeah. And then I can be AJ Preller's guest also. Yeah. I can get the special treatment. Deal.
Yes. And then we went to a game in Anaheim and we left after one inning because it was too cold.
Stop it. That's really funny. I did not know that. You did not tell us that.
Oh my gosh. It was so windy.
Was it so windy?
Yeah, and then we waited in line for my wine for 40 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Like, before the game started.
Just like a regular concession line?
They had, like, a wine shot. Like, a stand. And, yeah, it was... And then we went and found somewhere to stand for a minute, and we ate food. And then after the first inning, we're like, we came, we saw, we're out.
Yeah, honestly.
And we left.
Blame you.
We also were exhausted.
Yeah.
We had been in... That was our fifth game that week. It was the end of our vacation, so we were just kind of like...
You're ready to chill, for sure. Yeah, we traveled so much this week, too. I completely understand.
Yeah. So that was Cali.
Cali life, baby. You're a Cali girl now.
I'm such a Cali girl now. You're a Cali girl. The second I stepped foot in San Diego, I was like, I'm a Cali girl.
You just felt it. Yes. Yeah. I love that for you.
I've never had that feeling before.
I'll get to it later, but I had that same feeling. Not there.
Where?
No, in the desert, man. The desert.
Tell me about spring training.
Oh my goodness. Are you done with all of your stuff? Do you have anything else you want to talk about? You went to St. Louis too.
I did, but we can come to that.
Oh, we'll go later. Okay, fine. So I'll tell you about spring training.
Well, tell stuff kind of in the order that it happened.
Oh, chronological order. Okay, heard. Yeah. That's a great idea. So, yeah, we actually traveled for 3 weeks completely, and that was insane, and that was way too much.
You were gone for 3 weeks?
Yeah, so we were back. We were home for 4 days total in the 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
But yes, we took 3 whole weeks off work. And it was just absolutely insane. So I completely understand like the exhaustion and everything. Yeah. But so we started our trip. We flew out to Phoenix. And so I mentioned before, last time when I went to Las Vegas, I felt that feeling like that I'm home feeling that I've never felt that before anywhere in my entire life. And I thought it was Vegas. And then it happened, the exact same thing happened in Arizona. And so I know it's just the desert.
Yeah.
There's something about it, man. But when you went, because you went for my honeymoon that I didn't get to go in July. So how hot was it? Just
my eyeballs.
Do you remember?
It was like 110, 115. Like, maybe I'm making that. I know it's well over 100 degrees every day.
No, that's insane. Okay, so it was definitely not like that. So we went in the middle of March, obviously. So I don't know the exact temperature, but it was pretty cool, honestly. And we get to Phoenix and it rained. And it doesn't rain in Arizona. Yeah. And we brought the freaking rain with us. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me.
Oh my gosh.
But we did get to go to 2 spring training games. Arizona spring training is so cool because all of the fields, there's a handful of fields and they're all really close to each other. So you can just travel and go to each.
Oh, fun.
So we went to 2 different games. The first game we went, what stadiums did we go? We went to Salt River Fields and we went to one more. I don't remember the name of it. We saw the Angels and the Reds play against each other, so we got to see Mike Trout up close. So that was really cool.
Fun.
Yeah, I love Trout, and obviously getting to see Ellie. I know, huge Ellie fan over here.
I'm not, but I'll let you be one.
But so that was really exciting, getting to go and do that. They sell noodles at the ballpark. I don't know if you got any noodles when you're out there, but oh my God, it's just like a cup of just like teriyaki noodles, and you could put chicken and veggies and stuff. And it's one of the best ballpark meals that I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow. Was it better than the elote?
That's tough. Yes, I'm going to say yes. And that's crazy because I like street corn better. But this was like piping hot, fresh, like they just make it right after you order it. And that's not how the corn was, but it was so good. So we were there. It was amazing. But just being out there and seeing all the mountains behind you, like I haven't been to the Rockies Stadium either, so I've never experienced that, but it was just breathtaking being out there. And the second game that we went to was Rockies versus Diamondbacks, and they share a home stadium, so they were playing each other. But it was so neat, and it was full. And I love to see that because you don't see that a ton at spring training games, but there were so many Rockies fans, so many Angels fans, or, I don't know if they're actual fans of the team, but they were at least wearing that stuff. But it was wonderful. And so when we were walking around the facility, for the Angels and Rockies game, not Angels, my God, Diamondbacks, Rockies. Have I been saying Angels and Rockies this whole time?
I think you have, but it's okay.
Okay, it's not.
We're following.
It's the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. I apologize, everyone. They share a stadium, but when we were at that game, we were walking around before the game started, and we see like this little back way, and I'm like, this is interesting. And there was no gate or anything. There's like a walkway through the fence. I'm like, okay, can we walk in here? So we did, but we were like in the back of the facility. So there was like all of these training fields and everything right around. And there were all of these prospects and players just like walking around literally like 3 feet from us. And it was nobody that I actually recognized. But I was like, oh my, but I didn't know, I had no idea that this was happening. So like if I would have had more time, I would have been like, okay, who is this?
Yeah.
But I mean, they were so close to us. And we were the only ones back there, except for there was like 3 or 4 really like dorky men who just have like these huge binders of baseball cards that they're just trying to go get signatures. Gosh. So like those type of people, and they're just hounding these players, and you could see it on their faces that they're getting so mad. And they're like, no. But Tyler and I were just walking around and like smiling at people, and they were all, you could tell that they were like, thank God these people are just
they're not talking to me. They're just here to look at us.
They're just here to look. So they kept smiling at us, and so it was so nice. But
that's so fun.
Yeah, we had so much fun though. Spring training out there was definitely a vibe, definitely a lot different than spring training in Florida. I haven't been to spring training in Florida in a while, but it was just nice because it was just like one big party, and everybody was there out tailgating, and it was really, really cool.
I want to go to spring training in Arizona sometime.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I'll go with you next season.
Yeah, I would love to go back. I would go back anytime, honestly. And it doesn't matter that I honestly like it better when the Cardinals aren't playing for things like that. Because like for a spring training game, I'm there to take in everything. I want to see it all. And if the Cardinals are playing, that I'm so focused on the game, it makes me like not want to get up and explore,
100%.
That we took time to go and explore all the sites and everything. So it was really, really fun. We stayed when we were in Arizona. Tyler's aunt and uncle live in Fountain Hills, and so it's like 30-ish, 40 minutes from Phoenix, and they have this thing. I'd never heard of this before. I think it's called a dark town. So they have no street lights. So at like 8 p.m., everything is pitch black.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was crazy. And you would think about it and you would think that it's like super unsafe. It's a small town and kind of really like suburban. So there's not a ton of traffic, but it was just so dark and you could see the stars so beautifully, and it was gorgeous. But there's little like lights on the road so you can still see. It wasn't dangerous, but it was very interesting because I'd never seen anything like that before. And so we went out driving, and there was like no one out on the roads, and I was like, oh, this is crazy.
I might be a little creeped out if I did that, but I still think it'd be like really cool to see.
Really cool. Yeah, it was really, really cool. So that was my first trip. What did we do after? Oh yeah. So after that we left, we drove to Vegas. So we drove like the 5-hour whatever drive. We talked to people who have done that drive before, and we've asked like, how is it? And they're like, oh, it's really, really boring. This is one of the most beautiful drives that I've ever done in my entire life. And I don't know if it's just like the difference because we live in the Midwest where there's not any of this stuff
around corn.
Yeah, and the corn and nothing else. And we, you know, the drive to St. Louis is the most boring drive in the entire world. Mm-hmm. But it was so beautiful and the scenery was just crazy. So we did that. We were in Las Vegas during March Madness.
Oh my gosh.
And that was the most insane thing. Like there were so many people, and at every single casino and every single TV, it's like, you know, all of these people are betting on so many different things. So no matter who makes a shot, there's people screaming happy, screaming sad. And there were so many upsets. And like, I can't even imagine the number of people that like lost their entire life savings because of it.
But that's terrible to think about.
I know.
Don't even go there. Oh my gosh.
No, I saw a lot of dark people. It was crazy, but there was a lot of like really happy people. It was just insane though. But March Madness was wild. And guess what? When we were in Vegas, it rained then too, of course.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I have heard of there being more rain out there than normal. Like we were in California and there were like one of the games, it wasn't the game we went to obviously, but there was another game that week that like got rained out, and it was like the first game there to get rained out in forever.
That is crazy. Yeah, I don't know how it happened. It rained in Phoenix when we were there, and then 3 days later it rained in Vegas when we were there too. And so I was so excited to go out on the Strip, and we were going to go see the Bellagio fountains because last time we were in Vegas, they were doing the Formula One racing, so they had like grandstands over the fountain, so I didn't get to see them.
Okay.
So we go there and I have my phone out and I'm ready to take a video because it does it every 15 minutes. And then the 15-minute mark comes on and this lady comes over the speaker and says, due to high winds, we are not doing the fountains tonight. And I'm like,
oh, I would have been so upset.
So this is twice that I've been to Vegas and I still have not seen the Bellagio fountain. So I'm super bummed about that. But it was crazy. Like the weather was so insane. It was so windy. And when we didn't know what to pack for, I had to wear a winter coat. I literally had a puffer coat to wear on the Strip in Vegas.
In like spring, just about.
Yes, in spring. And it was just because it was so windy. You know, I don't know, it's probably like in the 60s maybe, but once it gets dark and windy.
Well, that's how it was in Anaheim. I was like, I could handle this if I brought my winter coat, but I'm in California. Like, I didn't think I would need that.
Of course.
This trip.
Of course. That's what was so stressful too, like having to fit everything in our carry-ons because we had to pack for all different types of weather. Had to pack for winter and summer. Like it was crazy.
You put everything in carry-ons?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you wild people.
2. We each take 2 carry-ons. I have to fit some of my stuff in his. I need to stop doing that and I need to just check a bag. But I refuse.
I hate checking bags.
I'm also petrified that my luggage is going to get lost. And then I know if it's a carry-on, it's not going to get lost.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
I'm sure that's a super irrational fear. I know it doesn't happen to a ton of people, but it happens, you know.
It does happen.
I am such a control freak about things that, as you know, you are aware of this. But if I lost my luggage, there would be no way. I would just freak out the whole time.
After seeing the amount of stuff you brought to my aunt's house for one night that you stayed in St. Louis with me... This all makes sense. It checks out.
Guys, I have a very, very specific routine that I have to do every day. It's a little bougie, but it's fine. We'll talk about it later.
It's okay. I still love you.
I love you. Thank you. What else did we do in Vegas? Oh, we went to okay, the Blues listeners are probably not going to like this, so I apologize. But we went to the Golden Knights hockey game out in Vegas, and it was one of the coolest things that I have ever been a part. It was so much fun. It was like a giant light show and they had super, super loud music. It was just a party. And I think that's how all sports games should be.
Have you been to other hockey games before?
I have been, not in a long time, but I have. Okay. Is that, you feel
I don't know if they're all like that. I think Preds games are pretty intense and like.
Are they?
And people love going to them. Like, I like going to Preds games when I can actually go in person. I don't watch hockey on TV, but I like the experience of going to a Preds game because it is more like, it reminds me a little bit of like the NBA and how they're a little bit more, there's more like production to it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah. Well, okay, so maybe it is more hockey teams. Like, I still have not been to a Blues game, which is crazy. And all of the times that I've been to St. Louis, I've never been to a Blues game.
I haven't either.
Our fans are going to roast us, but
bring it on.
We will. Hey, that's what we can do sometime. We can go to a Blues game together for the first time. I think that'd be really fun. That'd be really fun.
I really want to go to a soccer game in St. Louis
yes,
because those are wild.
I do too, also.
From what I've seen.
Yes, I have heard the same. The Knights, though, it was so much fun, and they had this big Knights helmet that came down from the ceiling like a giant one, and then they all came skating out of it with just a bunch of lights and music, and it was very, very fun. So we had a really good time. We got interviewed, or not interviewed, I guess. We were put on television before the game for like 30 seconds or something like that. You know how they do like crowd shots and they have fans like screaming for the camera.
Yeah.
It was us and two of our friends, and then the friend's dad and stepmom. So there were 6 of us there. 5 of us were in Las Vegas gear, and Tyler is a Columbus Blue Jackets fan, and so he was in a Blue Jackets gear. And so they came up to us and asked if they could film us. So we're screaming our heads off as if we're like the biggest Golden Knights fan. I'm like, I've never watched this team a day in my entire life, but you wouldn't know that by looking at me.
I don't trust anything on those TVs. I don't remember if I told this on the pod or not, but one year I was like in high school, maybe I was at a Cardinal game, and they do a family of the game, or at least they used to, and post like a family waving at the camera, and they're the family of the game. I literally got put with another family that they were actually a family, and then they just asked me to hop in the video. Like the promotions person. So then I'm on the screen, part of the family of the game, with 4 strangers that I have literally no idea who they were.
Oh my God.
And they also,
family of the game.
the angle, I looked like a giant compared to these people because of the angle of the camera. So I just looked so out of place. So now anytime I see anything like that on the screen, I'm like,
it's not real.
They're not real fans. They aren't really a family. Like, this is all holograms. I don't know. Nothing is real.
Funny. That's true, because I was not a fan, and I looked like the biggest Golden Knights fan in the whole world. That's so funny. We have a habit of getting interviewed by TV people.
Interesting.
Okay. What else we got? So that's it. That's all my West Coast traveling. We came back for a couple days, then we went to opening day in Cincinnati. I've said this before, if you have not ever done opening day in Cincinnati, I highly recommend doing it at least once. It is a holiday to them. There are 250,000 people that come to downtown Cincinnati. It is unlike anything that I've ever seen in my entire life. And obviously, the majority of them are not even going to the game. But it's all just one giant party downtown. They do a big parade over the entire city. So they close down a bunch of streets.
More so than like in St. Louis?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. 250,000. Like you're walking down the street and just like groves of people. St. Louis is obviously, it's amazing. And the Busch home opener is amazing. But there's a lot more people in Cincinnati.
That's insane. Yeah. The Anaheim game we went to was technically their opening day. But there was literally nothing about it where I was like, yeah, this feels like an opening day.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it took 40 minutes to get wine. That's the only thing. I was like, they don't
seem like they were
figured out yet.
Yeah, it seems like they were a little underprepared for that one. No, it is crazy to me how there's so many stadiums that opening day is just like a normal day for them. It's so bizarre to me because that's not how it is.
Growing up as a St. Louis fan, it is a holiday to us. Like, it just... You would think that everyone does it that way, but
I would think it's just exciting. Like, it's the kickoff, man. Like, it's baseball season starting, so it's crazy. It was really, really fun though. We had a good time. One thing about Cincinnati, so they have a Kroger downtown Cincinnati, and they have a big parking garage inside the Kroger, and so that's where we stayed. I don't know if this was just something that they did for opening day or if this is something that they do regularly. So the Kroger, it's like this is a little difficult to describe. It's just a huge, big building, but there's different levels. But like on the second level, there's just like a balcony around the outside to where, so you can like stand on a rail and like look over and you can look down to seeing Kroger. They turned that whole thing into a nightclub. So like on the second level, there's normally like some little restaurant things that you can eat. But when it was literally like people were coming in 7-inch heels and little tiny dresses and suits, and they were just playing like loud music throughout Kroger, and it's like, we're just trying to buy paper plates, and they're just...
That is the weirdest setup I've ever heard of.
It was unreal. I could not believe what was happening. But I mean, there was hundreds of people there, and they just kept coming in and out, and I'm like, okay, cool. But it was so funny.
That is weird.
Right in the middle of a Kroger. So I thought that was really interesting.
It's like a speakeasy, how like they like are hidden and you have to find them. This doesn't sound very hidden because it's so loud. But it's the same idea of like you go into like a, I don't know,
a secret room in the Kroger, and you
right.
Too funny. Yeah, it was wild. It was fun.
It's crazy.
It was fun.
Well, I've been to more games, but not on the West Coast. I went and took photos for Memphis a couple weeks ago, I want to say. And that was fun to be back in Memphis. There was one day, it was like Star Wars Day, and they had these people in costumes that were dressed up. And so I was taking photos of them for content. And then one of them, like, I walked across the concourse, was looking around, and he was like, put his finger up and like pulled, like, was waving me over. And I was like, okay. And so I walked over there, and he was like, do you want a picture with us? And I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. And he's like, just take your picture with us. Come on. And I was like, I actually can't do that. And he was like, was making me take a picture, and it got to the point where I was like, okay. And then he's like, here, this guy right here has been taking pictures for people all day. And it was like, I don't know, like the GM of the Redbirds. And he took my camera and took a picture of me with these things. And I'm like, I never even watched Star Wars. I don't know who you are. But I was like, it was honestly kind of creepy. I was like,
my gosh, that's
what
so
is happening?
funny.
So then I went and asked the person I was working for. I was like, who are these people in these costumes? Because one of them just made me take a picture with them. And it's some company they hired out, so it wasn't even like part of the Redbirds.
Oh my gosh, that's so
company.
funny.
And so I was like, that's even weirder.
Ew,
like,
what
that's
a weirdo.
some random person. I didn't like it very much.
Stop going to games looking all cute and people stop talking to you.
I was working. Like, he saw me taking pictures of him because I had to. So he was like, surely you want one with us.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I had my
like, no thank you.
badge and everything, but still he was like, take a picture. A little weird. And then the next weekend we went to St. Louis, and we went to 2 games against my second favorite team, the Brewers.
Second favorite team.
Yeah.
I specifically remember you cheering for a Brewers home run that would break the tie.
Can I say something? I have two things on this.
Please.
Friend of the pod, Kelsey, posted a photo on Twitter of me cheering very aggressively for the St. Louis Cardinals on that Friday evening in the 9th inning. Okay? So,
okay.
I am a Cardinal fan.
Okay.
The next day, one of my favorite Brewers players, because he's been he's number 2 prospect, I guess was now. He's been in the majors this whole season. So anyway, he hit a home run, and it was my first time seeing a home run from Jackson Chourio in real life and like in the majors. So I was very excited for him.
Okay.
I know it broke the tie in the moment, but the way the game was going, there was no way that it was going to be like a deal breaker for us winning the game.
You could just feel it, and then it just...
I felt the energy.
Yeah, it all just went downhill from there.
It was back-to-back homers because Bryce Terang and home run, and then Jackson did, and I was like, okay, we're done. Like, this is over now. So, that's why I was happy for him. If it would have been like the 9th inning, and he was the one who like put it over the edge, then I would have been a little more upset.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Did you have fun in St. Louis, though? Did you have fun?
I did. We weren't there, like... I guess you were there for a little bit. But it was fun. It was nice to be back. I missed it.
Yeah.
It was just also, we had been traveling so much because we were gone the whole first week of April, and then Memphis was the second weekend of April, and then St. Louis was the third weekend. So I think I was just kind of like...
kind of ready to be done.
Kind of ready, yeah.
Yeah, we did our travels. When we got back from Vegas, we were home for a day and a half and then left for Cincinnati for opening weekend. And we were there for the whole weekend. And then we came back home and we were home for 2 days. And then we went to St. Louis for the Busch Stadium home opener, and we were there all weekend too. So it's like we were home just enough to unpack our stuff and then repack for the new trip and get our dogs all sad again. Whenever I bring out my suitcase, my dogs just get so sad because they know that we're leaving. And my mom comes over and takes great care of them, and they're, They just get so
not their mom and dad.
No. So then it's like we had to make them sad 3 different times. And I'm like, man, I felt so bad. But yeah, Busch Stadium was our last travel too. I had the best time though. It was one of the probably the best home opener that I've ever been to. Like just the amount of fun that we had. I got to meet Kelsey K Bird Tweets for the first
forgetting you hadn't met her.
Can you believe that? I know, it's crazy. I wanted to meet her for so long. I just felt like our personalities would mesh so well, and it did, and it was wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit. She is the absolute best. We had a couple drinks and we talked a little bit for her podcast. So if you have not listened to her podcast, Peace, Love, and Baseball, please go check it out. She is absolutely wonderful. We had such a good time there. We went to Patios before the game. Have you been to Patios?
I actually haven't. I'm so sorry, everybody.
It's crazy because I had not. This was my first time going.
I think thinking of how busy it might be has deterred me from going.
It was insanely busy, especially on opening day. Kelsey was a godsend and she got a table. So when we came and met up with her, she had already had a table. So we were lucky.
Beautiful.
But yeah, if it would have been just us, we would have just been packed with people.
Yeah.
But it was so nice, especially after the terrible season that the Cardinals had last year, just to see kind of like the renewed energy. And I know it is opening day. So
we had hope again.
Yeah. A little hope, a little something. But it was so nice. Like everyone was having such a good time, and to see it packed again. We got to see the Clydesdales right outside of Patios. They were getting ready to go line up to go head over to the stadium. So we got to see them up close, and the puppy was on the back. And so we got nice little videos.
That's so perfect.
Yes. Sweet babies. It was fun. And the Cardinals won too. And obviously opening day is always a big spectacle in Busch, and with, everybody coming out on the trucks and all the red jackets and everything. And it was just really, really fun. Good day overall. They won. That Saturday we went to the game too. We got all-inclusive suite tickets, so that was really exciting. When we bought the tickets, I had no idea that it was actually a suite, so that was a nice surprise. I thought it was just kind of like some club type thing. But yeah, so there was only probably like 30-ish people in the suite, and obviously you have outdoor seats, but you have your own private bartender and whatever. But that was so fun.
Oh wow.
I know. Fancy, right?
I need to go to more games with you.
I know. Yeah, you sure do. But hey, we are going to be on a suite because we got invited to Podcaster Day.
Yeah,
so we're going to be in a suite for at Busch Stadium together. So that'll be really fun.
That will be fun.
Coming up in June. Me too.
You know what else has happened in the last
tell me.
week or so? Your girl released an album. Not me, sorry. Your girl, Taylor Swift.
It did kind of sound like, all right, this is Hayley's announcement.
Not me, not me.
Taylor Swift did announce an album, so that's what, no matter what happened in baseball these last couple of weeks, nothing can hurt me because Taylor Swift released an album, and I'm going to say it is the best album that she has come up with.
You think that? You're the first person I've heard say that.
100% think that. So I could go on a whole rant about this. We're going to make a new podcast, the Tortured Podcast Department. Here we go.
There we go. Great title.
Yeah, that's the title of the episode. Tortured Podcast Department. No, I think it's wonderful. So my favorite album of hers is Folklore, which is more like folky type, not as whimsical. And I think it's the perfect blend of that plus her poppy music. It's excellent. You have been listening to it though, haven't you?
I am shocked at how much I listened to it. I did not like it at all at first, but that's how I am with anything that's new.
Yeah.
It takes me like a few listens because everything sounded the exact same to me. So I was like, I just listened to the same song 31 times.
Of course.
And because there's so many, oh my gosh, there's so many, that I was just like so overwhelmed by it. But now that I've listened a lot, I finally have like figured out what my favorites are. There are a handful of skips for me at this point, but I really like it overall.
You're coming around though. That's how you're coming around. And I love, no, but my thing is like people that are, if you're looking for the album for like, I want it to be poppy and happy and I want to listen to it just for like the vibe. That's not what it's about. Like this was such a therapeutic thing for her, going through processing this 7-year breakup and things like that. And so that's what it's about. It's not so lyrically, it's just so good. I could talk. Are
you like a sad girl song person in general?
It really honestly just depends on my mood. So, but a lot of times, yes, I love sad songs and I cry so much, and I cry so much at all of her songs. But I've listened to the first half of the album a lot more than the second half. I have a habit of starting at song 1 whenever I listen to an album. And so I'll start at the beginning and then like whenever I stop, I'll go back and restart it again. But
What are like your top 3 songs?
Right now,
yeah.
Right now, my top. See, the thing is,
3 to 5.
Yeah, with this album right now, it's like I'll listen to it and then I'll find a new song that I'm obsessed with, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, it's this one now. Yeah. It's this one now. I'll do 3. But Daddy, I love. This is in no particular order. But Daddy, I Love Him.
Great.
I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I'm gonna say Down Bad right now.
Okay.
Is probably my 3rd at this moment in time. But okay. I have like 10 favorites, so it's really, really tough.
I have like 7 or 8.
What's your top? Do you have 3?
So High School.
Cute.
I don't know what I
it's
love
about Travie Trav.
I love the like guitar at the beginning and like just that vibe.
Yes, and it's about Travis, and we love Travis.
I'll list ones that aren't yours because But Daddy Love Him and Down Bad are 2 of my tops as well. But 2 other ones I like are Guilty as Sin.
So good. That's one of my ones that I have recently, like in the last day, become obsessed with.
Okay. And then The Black Dog.
That's so good. It's so good. And The Black Dog, so there's a pub in London called The Black Dog, and I saw a TikTok of just an old British man who, I don't know if he runs it or was there or something, but he said, well, this bar has now become famous, and these people called the Swiftians. He's called them the Swiftians. He said that they were taking over because they found where this place was, so many people are going there to try to take photos and stuff. So they're gonna love it. So that was so funny. Swiftians. No, legit. I mean, I could go on and on and on about her forever, but we're not the only ones that are Swifties, though. Joey
Who else is a Swiftie?
Joey Votto. My love, Joseph Daniel Votto.
Yourself,
yes.
Joey.
He tweeted something about listening to Down Bad for the 50th time, and he was posting lyrics about Down Bad crying at the gym. So funny. He has impeccable taste, man. But his walk-up songs have been Taylor Swift in the past.
Okay, I feel like I knew that about him.
Yeah, so he's like a genuine Swiftie.
You know, also Rizzo wore a Taylor Swift era sweatshirt on release day.
Oh my god!
To the ballpark.
I did see that. I didn't put it together that it was on release day. Mm-hmm. That's so funny. I love that.
So, if there's any reason to love him too,
yes, they have good taste.
Of course.
I want to say one thing about walk-up music really quickly. We can do a whole deep dive into walk-up songs in a later episode, but I will say the Cardinals' walk-up songs are so much better this year than they were last year.
I was so worried about what you're going to say.
Oh my god.
What's going to come out of her mouth?
No, they are so... I mean, last year was a train. Nolan Arenado's walk-up song was Electric Eel. Get out of here. Like, no.
You really felt passionately about that last season.
I did. It was horrible. But now oh my gosh, it's so much better. I know the Cardinals still haven't been doing the best this year, but like it feels a little bit different. I don't feel quite as dark as I did last year. Like the vibes at least are a little partially back. Anyway, that was my little rant about walk-up music.
I do want to do a deep dive into that one day.
Yes, we absolutely can.
We will.
Absolutely.
Are there any other fun baseball things that have happened in the past few weeks that we want to talk about?
Yeah, this episode right now, obviously we spent a ton of time just catching up with each other. We haven't seen each other in a long time, so we're just going to talk about a few little baseball things, but next week we'll be back with regular content, regular all baseball stuff. So we're just going to throw in a couple little things here. Bryce Harper just came off the paternity list. Congrats, Bryce and Kay, for their new baby. And of course, first at bat off the paternity list, hits a home run. Of course.
I feel like he's done that before.
That's strength.
Maybe 5 years ago after the birth of his first child.
Isn't that unreal?
That's insane.
It's absolutely unreal. I think that's so neat. And those are the moments that I love, like just that coming full circle, him doing it twice. So if they have a kid in the future, maybe he'll do it again. So fun.
So like dad's strength is really a thing.
Oh, it is. Oh, it sure is. And we'll see it. Maybe if Tommy Edman ever comes back, we'll get to see that Tommy Edman strength.
I sometimes forget he and Dylan Carlson are Cardinals.
I know. They exist. Dylan Carlson is about to start a rehab assignment, so that's great
news. Guess who's going to see Memphis on Friday?
Oh, my goodness.
Guess who might be playing?
Hello.
Will do.
Love it.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm really happy for Bryce.
Yeah, love Bryce.
I can't believe I just said that out loud.
Yes.
I said that and I was like, what did I
This is going to become a Phillies podcast before we know it.
No, I draw the line there for sure.
Too funny.
We also had an amazing story. Cam Boozer. I feel like this made its rounds on social media here recently, but he had torn his UCL. He had surgery on his shoulder, and he broke his back after being hit by a car. And after all that, he quit baseball. He became a carpenter, but then he realized that he could still throw a baseball. And at 31 years old, the Red Sox called him up, and he got to make his MLB debut.
It's amazing.
What an amazing story of just like persistence. And I just think it's awesome.
It's so awesome. And it's so cool too. When he was a carpenter, he realized that he could still throw. And so he hired a trainer, and the trainer just put his videos on social media. That's the whole reason that he was able to do this, because he got it on social media and got some buzz. And then he got picked up by an independent team. And it's just so cool. Just really, really neat. Independent team in Chicago.
We love a positive social media story, because there's so many negatives out there. It's nice when social media does something positive like that.
So he was on the Red Sox roster, and he closed out the 8-1 win against the Pirates in the 9th inning. He struck out Andrew McCutchen for his first career K, which is amazing, because you know how awesome Kutch is and what a cool moment. And he had a quote. He said, "It's still pretty surreal. It was a really surreal moment. I tried not to look up and just stay in the moment. Afterward, tried to take it all in. It's by far the best moment in my career, something I will always remember, thanking God for the opportunity and understanding what a blessing it was to be able to step onto that mound tonight." It's amazing.
I love those stories. There's another guy too, Tyler J, who he played at Illinois whenever I was going to Illinois games all the time when I was in like late high school, early college, when I still lived in Champaign. And I want to say he's 29, but he was drafted in the first round, 6th pick of 2015, something like that. But he had a bunch of illness and stuff, so he kind of had a stint where he didn't play. He got sent to indie ball and things like that. He actually just made his MLB debut a couple weeks ago as well, and there was a video of him where he got to say, he has kids now, and he's like, my kids got to see that dad didn't give up. And I just love it. I know, it got me. And he was
gosh,
getting emotional. And so I'm really happy for him. Someone that I watched when he played in college, to see him be able to do that was really cool.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that one got me. Woof.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, best of luck to you both. Man, such cool stories. Hope that he can continue to have success in the future. For sure.
Same. You feel very excited about MLB IHOP Ghost Kitchens.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So apparently the MLB is having ghost kitchens. So where you can order like on DoorDash or something like that. MLB is marketing that it's their food. You can order like ballpark snacks and things like that. Come to find out, it's a ghost kitchen for IHOP. So literally, if you're ordering this ballpark food, it's all food from IHOP. So just order. It's just so funny to me. And I just don't. It has to be just a complete money grab, right? Like that's it. It's just so bizarre to me. Why are they having all ghost kitchens? And I know like Denny's around here has ghost kitchens too, with all of these like random burger names, and it's so bizarre to me.
They offer things like the ballpark chicken sandwich, the ballpark dog, the ball bucket, which is donut holes, cream cheese icing, and caramel sauce.
I mean, it sounds delicious. But
bacon chicken sandwich, LA street dogs, Philly cheesesteak. I mean, they really are offering it all.
IHOP.
I know. Ghost kitchens are a weird concept, I'm going to be honest.
It's very bizarre to me. It just seems like false advertising. And then if it's MLB, I feel like they can... I didn't see any prices, but I feel like they can just jack the price up.
Didn't see price either.
Because it's supposed to be MLB marketed. That's so funny.
That is...
Why don't we focus on ending MLB blackouts instead of coming up with fake ghost kitchens for IHOP in random cities? But thankfully, St. Louis does not have one, so I am proud of St. Louis for not.
Wild.
Too funny.
Another one you have been talking about a lot lately is the Fanatics jerseys, and how multiple teams still don't have certain jersey that they're supposed to have. Like the Cardinals don't have the Victory Blues, and the Mariners don't have the cream jerseys in stock.
I think there's a couple other teams too. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember either. And you pointed out that Bryce Harper just wore a pre-2024 Phillies cream jersey 2 weeks ago.
It's
I mean,
so,
come on.
Like, I mean, literally, what are we doing? Like, it is so embarrassing. And the fact for the Players Weekend, I don't know if you saw, they're taking nicknames off the jerseys too. They're just going to have to. And the only reason that they're doing that is because they're not going to be able to make them in time. Like, it's, you know, it's just so stupid. It's so goofy.
It's terrible.
We are a professional sports organization. Like, there is completely and utterly unacceptable that your teams don't have their jerseys, especially the St. Louis Cardinals not having the Victory Blues jerseys, because they are the best jersey in baseball. And fight me on that, because it's true. They are the best jerseys in baseball, and we can't even see them.
I don't know if they're the best ones in baseball, but I do like them a lot. So I won't fight you on that.
Thank you. Someone will fight on it. No, they're gorgeous. But like, it's insane to me. And not to mention like the fit issues and the see-throughness and all of that stuff. And the fact that like the pants are falling apart when you're sliding home. Like, take all of that out of it. Like the fact that a team does not have their jersey, that's just completely unacceptable. So I don't know what's going to happen, or if they have to figure it out for the future. But like, also I was thinking about this. What fans are going to buy these jerseys right now if they look so terrible on the players and like the names are stupid and small? Like, are people actually buying them?
I was looking for an article on these jerseys, and I kept getting DHgate ads. So it was like,
oh my, DHgate jerseys.
I mean, they're probably the same.
They're now going to look better.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Yes, but no, Bryce did. They just came out and said that he was wearing one of their old jerseys a couple of weeks ago, and that he is not the first person that I've seen either. It hasn't actually come out that other people have, but I can see it in my eyes. At one of the games that we were at, I don't remember who it was, but I was like, that is not a jersey from this year. So funny.
My gosh.
So unbelievable.
So pathetic. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
Do you want to talk about the Chris and Chip Carey situation?
Go for it. I do love this tweet.
Oh my gosh, so funny. So if you do not know, Chris Carey, who is Chip Carey's son, Chip Carey is the announcer for the Cardinals. Chris just got a job announcing for the Athletics. So first of all, congratulations to him. He's doing a wonderful job. So he had his first home run call, and it was something to the effect of, "It's not coming back." And so
like something about into the bleachers and
it's not coming back, something like that. Sorry, I'm paraphrasing. And Chip the other night in a Cardinals home run call said almost the exact same thing. And so we saw on Twitter that Chris quote tweeted it and said, "Aren't I supposed to be the one stealing your calls?" It was so funny. So funny.
I love it.
He very, very clearly took his call. So it's pretty impressive.
Yes. I think that family is awesome, honestly. Awesome. Like, they're legendary at this point. Like, Absolutely. This is what that family is known for. And I don't know, I think it's really cool. Kind of like the Bucks, you know.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. No, and it's so wonderful. And they're both I mean, I know Chris hasn't been there long, but with Chip is awesome. He's been seamless, and you know, he came in seamlessly to St. Louis, and what I've heard from Chris so far, it's been wonderful. So really happy for them both. Love that family. Such a funny moment. We gotta say a happy birthday today, the day that we were recording. It is David Freese's birthday. St. Louis Cardinals legend, World Series MVP, baby, David Freese. Happy birthday.
It's also my sister's birthday, so happy birthday, Maggie.
Happy birthday, Maggie. And David.
Swag Mag, Swaggy, whatever you want to call it.
Swag Mag, I love it. I used to have fat heads of David Freese all over my room. All over. It was very embarrassing. Like, it was just David Freese everywhere.
Sounds embarrassing. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. That's what my mom, she knew that I loved him and that he was my favorite player. And so, like, every single thing that I would get for Christmas or for my birthday would all be David Freese stuff.
We went to a game one year on his birthday, my sister's birthday. And so my stepdad made a poster with pictures of them cut out on the poster that said, like, "It's my birthday too."
Oh, that's so cute.
If I remember right, I think he did see it. I don't remember if he signed it or not, but yeah.
That's so funny. I share a birthday with Mike Moustakis.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was on the Reds, and I was there on our birthday, and we were sitting in the front row of the green seats, and so he walked by, and I said, "Happy birthday," and I said, "It's my birthday too," and he just waved. He didn't say anything. So I know, it's kind of lame. Like, you should have said happy birthday to me, but
100%.
But I digress. Happy birthday, David Freese. Happy birthday, Swag Mag.
Yes.
All right, Hales. What else we got? Anything else? You got any big plans today?
Going to Pilates, and then just getting ready. We go to Charlotte this weekend, and I'm going to go to a baseball game in Charlotte. I guess I'm going to a couple of Sounds games this week as well. So,
how fun. Well, we can talk about that next week for sure.
We'll have plenty to talk about, I'm sure.
Well, your girls got big plans tonight.
You big basketball girly.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm going to talk the last 2 minutes about basketball, and then I promise you we will stop.
Go for it.
We will stop. Indiana basketball, baby, we are back. Playoffs. Got playoffs tonight. I went to the game on Friday. They're playing the Bucks. Huge series. That game, I have never been a part of a crowd I've been in any professional sporting event, any sport, any team, any city that I've ever been to. I have never been a part of a crowd.
Wow.
That's why my voice has been going out all day because I don't have a voice from screaming so loud. We were also 8 rows off the court. And they ended up winning. The Bucks hit a last second 3 to take it into overtime to tie the game. And then they ended up in overtime. They also hit another last second 3 to tie the game with 15 seconds left. So I was like, oh my God. And then Tyrese Halliburton came, made a last second shot to win the game. My boy, to win the game. But I've said this a little bit before, but I am so proud to be from Indy right now, especially because the Fever did draft Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark was there also, and she addressed the crowd before the game, before the Pacers playoff game, and it was just so amazing, and I'm so happy and so amped up. And having Caitlin here, it's so good for basketball, it's so good for the city, but it's so good for women too, just in general, 100%. Just in general, to see that we've never seen anything like this before, and the fact that she's signing $28 million Nike deals before she's even set foot on the court.
Well, and did you see that she sold more jerseys in the first 24 hours than the whole Dallas Cowboys did, I think, all of last season?
That's incredible. Isn't that unreal? And I love that so much. So when the Fever drafted her, I was at work, and they put the sound on and they put all the TVs on the draft just for the number 1 pick, just so they could see it. And so our restaurant was full. We had a big convention of firefighters, and it's just a bunch of bro-y dudes. I can't order sushi because that's too girly. They're just manly. Great. Yeah, just those type of men. And I was like, okay, how is this going to go? But they had it on the draft, and they were all watching, and they were all clapping, and we overheard people explaining who she was to other people, and that stuff doesn't happen. Those kind of guys, they don't care about it, and so it's just so exciting. So I had to harp on my city a little bit. So I'm really proud. I'm going. We got game 4 tonight, so hopefully it'll work out just like it did the last game. So going to that tonight.
I wish you luck.
Oh God, thank you so much. Yeah. All right, love.
You want to take us out?
Let's do it. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of There Is Crying in Baseball. I know this one was a little bit wonky, but next week we will be back with all of the crying moments around the league. Follow us on all socials at Crying Baseball. Give us a follow on YouTube as well if you'd rather watch the episodes. So we will talk to you next week, because on Wednesdays we cry.